everyone. Laurie Styron from Charity Watch here. I was talking to a journalist today um, about charities helping the victims of a particular tragedy. And I offered, all of the normal giving tips for that, which we have on our website at charitywatch.org. We have a lot of tips about giving in response to a tragedy and what to watch out for and how to make sure your donation isn't wasted. So you can check that out there. But more conceptually, I was thinking today about this concept called psychic numbing. Basically, what it means is psychologists have found that as the number of victims of a tragedy increases, the empathy that we feel as individuals in response to that tragedy decreases. And this seems terrible and counterintuitive because you would think logically that the more victims there are, the more empathy we should feel, but that's really not how it works. This idea of psychic numbing is basically that people start to lose that personal connection with the individuals that were affected by some terrible tragedy or disaster. And so I think that I wish that I had remembered to talk to the journalist about this, but I can talk to you about it now. It's just really important to remember and to be mindful of the fact that, the way that we donate, we really have to be very mindful about how we do it because our emotions in response to a very personal story is often what inspires us to donate. And this is why charities use very personal stories. They use very specific examples. They don't just talk about, 30,000 people are starving in a country or, 100,000 people need help because they need malaria, medication or nuts or something, right? They talk about individual families or people and their stories because they know that this is what inspires you to actually open your wallet and donate. Now, this is a double-edged sword because if you have a really efficient and effective organization that's making an impact, the fact that they know how to get you to donate is a good thing because they're out there helping those 30,000 people in the best case. And the way that they told you the story about one of those people, that's actually what caused you to give. And so that's a good thing. But the other side of this is that you have to be very, very careful because there are just as many, well, not just as many, that's an overstatement, thankfully. Most charities are great, but there are a significant number, let's say, a significant number of bad actors in the nonprofit sector, not always fraudsters or scam artists. Sometimes they have a legitimate charity, but the charity is just not operating in any way efficiently. And your donation's really going to be wasted if you donate to that organization. So if you are feeling an emotional response to a tragic event, please, please, please remember to just stop before you go ahead and make that donation. Just take a few extra minutes to look into that charity. Three major things. Come to charitywatch.org. We have resources for donors on our website that explains to you how to go about researching a charity before giving. So if it's a charity that we don't rate, we rate mostly large national organizations. If it's a charity we don't rate, we have a lot of advice on there about, make sure the charity is registered and in good standing with the IRS. Make sure that it's operating efficiently. And then thirdly, just make sure also that it has the types of programs that you want to support because, some nonprofits, they focus more on long-term infrastructure. Others, they focus more on emergency aid. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But don't let this psychic numbing prevent you from acting, prevent you from giving if you can, because there's a lot of need out there in the world and we all need to think of ourselves as people who can help in some way. So I hope that you will do that. I hope these reminders have been helpful. Please come to charitywatch.org for more giving tips and to keep up with all of our articles and media and various things that we've been participating in recently to help you make wiser giving decisions. Thanks, everybody.